it was always my dream to make a user-friendly version, is what I call it, of the occult, because it was never really intended for certain individuals and certain groups of people to get to the higher tiers of the occult anyway. You got to remember that when you set goals for yourself, set goals that you know you can reach. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's not that you can't become a millionaire, but it's like, are you willing to put in the work? And then you got the second phase of it is, are you willing to put in the work to keep the money that you manifested? Are you going to invest it right? Are you going to plant good seeds and good fertile seeds? But that's not really what I don't want to talk too much about money on this episode. I want to kind of point out something from the Bible. And I started this video the way I did for a reason, because the Bible, from my perspective, totally documents most of the experiments, cloning, even a lot of the scientific research that is needed for a person to understand this. But the thing is that it's decoded in something called Holy Writ. But I want to point out one aspect from the Bible on an economic level and from an astrological level. So you have a lot of students of astrology, and they're neophytes, honestly. And I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm just saying for real. They're neophytes because they don't really even believe themselves that we can actually make it to certain planets. Like they think when we study the planets, they're just looking at like certain influences that we're picking up on, and it's not. It's more than that. And I'm gonna use this point, and then I'm gonna shut down. This is just food for thought. I said I was gonna rapidly put out a few videos here and there, just going into, shit that people ain't talking about, like I always do. But you gotta think about it like this. They got these animals that they would sacrifice. They had to offer up a certain amount of animals and stuff like that to sacrifice, right? And you would ask yourself, why would God require them to do this stuff? Like, he'll tell them, you got to kill 10, this and that and that. And it's right in the Bible. You can read this and say, what's in the Old Testament? It doesn't matter. It's still God's word. Or however, why was he requiring this? I'm not going to give you the secrets and tell you too much of it, but I just want to point out something. Was he requiring this because he was just some bloodthirsty hunter? He just wanted to drink a bunch of, cow blood and stuff like that? Or was he pointing this out and wanting them to slaughter these certain animals to get certain aspects of certain materials that were only located in certain animals to use for certain high-level scientific rituals? Was the God of the Bible further advanced than what we are today? Why do we watch these history shows and they show God walking around with no shoes on and sackcloth and ashes and all of that? But then when you start looking at the stuff that he was telling his followers to do, this would take us up into the year 3000 even, some of it. So I'll come back up with more of it soon. Have a good day.